June Campbell, who is the founder of Campbell Christian Academy in North Dallas, joining us this morning. I was just up your way a couple days ago, June, and thank you so much for being on with us here in Houston. We sure appreciate it. Gallup poll shows 30% of teachers actively engaged in their job, which would, of course, lead one to assume that the other 70% are not engaged in their jobs. It estimates that teachers who aren't engaged account for 2.3 million missed work days every year. Have you found this to be the case at Campbell Christian Academy?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I think that teachers across the board basically are sincere about what they do, but they can't teach when they're not prepared to teach and haven't been taught properly how to teach. And also, you can't teach when your students aren't prepared. You know, the kids, I know because I taught in the high school for 10 years in the public school. And the kids would come in every year, terrible readers, terrible writers, terrible spellers, and you're expected to do your job, but you can't because you don't have students who have anything in their toolbox.
Why are these students so unprepared for reading and writing and arithmetic? I mean, they obviously didn't get that from the schools they were coming from, yes?
That's correct. They're passed on year after year after year, whether they've mastered the material or not.
Well, June, would that mean, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but would that mean that maybe the teachers they had weren't engaged in teaching them the things that they needed to know? Maybe that plays right into what Gallup has found out here.
Not necessarily, because I think more than that, that the fact is that the teachers are not being allowed to teach the way that works, the old-fashioned way. For example, reading. In today's society, the teachers are having to teach by what's called the sight method, and that is all wrong. Phonics is the way to learn. At our school up here in North Dallas, I have taught over 10,000 children how to read in the last 30 years, and I've done it by phonics.
Do you think this is Common Core creeping in? Is that the reason why that these students are?
Well, I think that it is. That's part of it, but this has been going on a lot longer than that. This has been going on ever since way back in the 1950s when they threw out phonics. And so that's why kids can't read. They don't have the tools. They don't know how to read. They have to guess at words. And it's the same principle with math. You have got to know the basic facts.
Right. No, I agree. Now, would you also say that children don't respect teachers? I mean, I'm watching this video today of this kid tackling his 62-year-old teacher because he took his cell phone away. I mean, that goes on in classrooms all the time, right?
Well, I think in some schools, apparently it does, because we see that. I don't think we see that as often as we would think. However, I guess I might be living in a sheltered situation because of the fact that we have a one-room schoolhouse. We have 5 teachers to 33 kids, and our students are very disciplined children, and they are kids who really, really want to learn, and we have parents whose kids really, really want to learn. But I do know that the 10 years that I spent in teaching in high school, it was a miserable time. I equated it to doing time. Yeah, because the parents don't respect the teachers. The students don't respect, for the most part. Some did.
June, I agree with you, and I think that has a great deal to do with the engagement of any teacher as to whether or not the parents are involved and whether or not they can, exert the proper discipline. June, I got to wrap it up, but I want to thank you for coming on with us. And Campbell Christian Academy sounds like a good place, a place that I would be happy to send my child. I appreciate the good work you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.